Good evening. It's Monday the 2nd of June 2014, and for years I've been telling my friends that I was going to write a book and about my travel stories and bestsellers and blah blah blah, but it's never actually happened. It might, but for the moment it hasn't, and I have figured for a while that it could be a good idea to get myself on YouTube and recount some of the stories to either drum up interest or not, or give me inspiration to actually get on and start writing about things. And I spent a lot of years travelling, particularly between 1988 and 1998, I suppose, a good 10 years, probably 15 years, fairly solid travelling. A lot of the time with very little money, a lot of the time with no money, and basically just trying to escape the 9 to 5, and I'd often just get a ticket and fly with virtually sometimes no money, or 10, 20, 30 pounds on me. And this was 2001. The Twin Towers had just been brought down, and I'd got a very cheap ticket to Geneva in Switzerland and had a few quid extra. Didn't know where I was going to go, didn't know what I was going to do, and ended up, after a couple of days, on the north coast of Lake Geneva, penniless, pissed off, and no idea what to do. I had tried to get some work in some of the vineyards and the apple picking farms, to no avail, although later on, that's another story, anyway, that'll be another video. So anyway, I was walking west along the north coast of Lake Geneva, thinking, what on earth am I going to do now? And I just thought, log cabin, up in the hills, total silence, that's what I need. But clear my head, talk to the Lord, talk to nature, do whatever to try and feel a bit more at ease. And sun was out a bit, and I just lay down on the floor on the grass next to the road, let the sun warm me back, and I said, please God, please can I have a log cabin up in the mountains, total silence, green all over the place, trickling streams, just middle of nowhere. And that's what I really felt I needed. And so I got up and put my little backpack, it was a little backpack, over my shoulder, went to the side of the road, and next car, which was a couple of minutes later, put my thumb out and car stopped, which was fortunate straight away. Chap my sort of age said, yeah, where are you going? And I said in my best French, I'm just going up into the hills. He said, oh, I live up in the hills, so I'll take you. In French that was. And my French is all right. And anyway, so I jumped in and we got talking, and he was working on a bulldozer for the roadworks in Geneva during the summer. And then as winter came, he was a ski instructor, cross-country ski instructor. Anyway, we carried on talking, blah blah blah, and he said, oh, you can come to my house and stay if you like. Of course, middle-aged man, didn't know anything about him, could be single, blah blah blah, and I thought, oh cool. Anyway, he said, I've got a log cabin up in the mountains. He said, totally green, totally silent, streams here and there, middle of nowhere, you can stay as long as you like. So I said, yeah, thank you very much, that would be great. And I mean, basically he had said, or offered me, almost word to word, but in French, exactly what I'd asked for less than half an hour before. And so we carried on talking. I was on a real high, you know, fingers crossed that actually what he was saying was 100% truth. And we got to this little village up in the mountains, and he took me to his home. His wife and daughter were there, and they gave me a great meal. He said, okay, let's take you to your cabin, he said. And we walked, it wasn't far, 200, 300, 400 yards out of this small village into this just meadows everywhere, green trees, pine trees, log cabin. He took me in there. He said, look, there's a bed there, stay as long as you like. And I had no money, no food or anything, and I stayed there 5 days in the end. And he couldn't actually work out why I wanted to leave, and well, there was a reason. But every night I went back to their place and they fed me, it was brilliant, and we'd talk, and you know. And anyway, after the 5 days it was pure bliss, just being able to walk through this greenery and, you know, silence and the mountain air. I was listening to my radio one night, stars up above, and I heard that the coalition had invaded Afghanistan to try and dismantle Al-Qaeda and, you know, get rid of the Taliban. And you know, I was furious that, oh, yet again, you know, another war is going to happen. I thought, what can I do, a little individual, you know? And bing, Damascus came up in my head, and I thought, Damascus, yeah, okay, Syria. And I just thought, hitchhike to Damascus, and write an article, newspaper article when you get there. You know, I mean, seemed like an idea. I don't know why, but anyway, so I did, and I said my goodbyes the next day. You know, incredibly grateful, and wandered off. Made a little sign which said Damascus on it. Put my thumb out, and I guess that's the next story. I got there, took me 3 months, 44 lifts, because I logged them, spent 2 months working on a boat, and that was just an amazing journey from Geneva to Damascus. That was back in 2011. Look where Damascus is now, horrendous. But there's a book in that journey, but maybe I'll do it in a few parts on video, who knows. Thank you for listening. One mistake, I said it was 2011. It wasn't, it was 2001.